Are startups offering some of the most rewarding careers here in Michigan? Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers. Joining me now is the co-director of the New Economy Division of LEAP, Jeff Smith. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
So is Michigan's economy so much better and coming around so nicely that it's a real good time to have a startup business here in our state?
Oh, absolutely. Think about it as being kind of the Wild West of the economy. I mean, you're coming into a situation where a lot of people may have left and a lot of companies may have decided to pursue other ventures. This is an opportunity for you to actually test out a business idea. The barriers to entry are nominal, if any, and you can make a huge splash here right away, and we're seeing a lot of that happen.
When you say the barriers are nominal, does that mean that funding's perhaps becoming a little more easier to come by? There's office space to acquire, right? Because we used to hear that Michigan was a terrible place to do business. You couldn't get money, the regulations were awful.
Yeah, that's not the case anymore. There are so many resources. Actually, there are probably more resources than there are companies in a lot of ways. There's just so many things to help you get off the ground. Funding, space, business individuals, resources. We have too many resources sometimes. And I think that if we could just focus on, taking advantage of those resources more than anything. If individuals can just reach out and just do some slight research, you'll find that there are so many resources to get your idea off the ground that we're going to propel you from stage 1 to stage 3 as quickly as possible.
And in fact, here in Lansing, a lot of the economic development is coming in the form of incubators, which do just that, correct? For folks who don't know what incubators are, they sort of provide all of that for someone to get started.
Right, and so we've got the Technology Innovation Center, we have the Hatch, we have the NEO Center, we have Incubake, we have the Allen Street Food Hub. We have all these new facilities opening up to help these companies in different industries really get off the ground. And along with that comes funding, business resources, and networking and connections as much as possible. So those incubators help in one way or another, but really, from a global perspective, starting your business is very easy. You can get a URL for under $10 for a website. You can get an LLC for $50 to $100, and suddenly you're really on your way, and for really not much money at all.
We have to have an idea, right? So if you have are there particular ideas that are taking off, or particular businesses that are focusing in Michigan or doing better than others, or is it really sort of a mix?
Well, it's a mix, but anywhere you're going to find that it's very easy to get a web-based startup company off the ground. The barriers to entry on that are very nominal. But you're seeing a lot of startups that are focused on either mobile applications or software platforms in one way or another. So you're seeing a very high demand for software programmers for all those companies. So that's what we're seeing now, is a very high demand for those positions.
Is that the biggest barrier now, is finding the talent to work in the new startup companies? Yeah,
in fact, there are probably 100 positions I can think of right now that are open right now in one form or fashion in the software development arena. I think that what you're finding, though, is that the more those companies start to be exposed to the general populace, the more people are willing to move possibly from California or New York or Boston or Austin to test out that business idea in Michigan, in particular in Lansing.
And then real quick, when we're talking about businesses and startups, business expansion, we don't want to leave that out. Huge part of economic development.
Yeah, I mean, we've got NioWave, Emergent Biosolutions, Jackson National. All these companies are really expanding very quickly, and those are stage 3 companies that, they may be hiring 300 to 1,000 employees all at once, and those are actually happening.
All right, good news here in the state of Michigan. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Jeff Smith, the co-director of the New Economy Division of LEAP.